had a neighbor that had 4, 5, 6 dogs, and they're always barking and keeping your child awake, at least when you complain, you have an ordinance to back up any kind of reaction from the city. And the same would be true of the garage sales, if a neighbor complains. And I think we have this ordinance for the quality of life. If some employee of one of our contractors came forward and complained, but you know, they're there, I think, to help enforce things as they come up. And I think Charlie was just being a kind person and thinking about their quality of life. That's all.
Well, and I you know, as I was going through the computer, you know, I'm looking at this, and I go, oh, living wage ordinance. So I read it. Then 2 weeks later, this came up, and I'm going, well, wait a minute. So that, you know, I was just wanted to ask the question.
Yeah, I think in 1966, obviously the labor standards were very different, and it probably was something that was very required in 1966. By today's standards, with you know the requirements on the national level and the state level, I don't know that there's so much need for it today.
It can almost be an open interpretation, because as a former union guy, I can almost interpret that as basically saying that you will use a union company because they pay, you know, cost of living wages and all that stuff. So there's, you know, it's kind of a slippery slope, so to speak.
Well, this is different than prevailing wage.
Yeah, this is not. It's not a prevailing wage scenario, but again, I mean, we're simply entering into a contract with a subcontractor. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know how many layers that we want to get involved with.
I agree. But it didn't affect the bid, so.
Well, and you know, I went through the bids and added them all up, and they're 37% cheaper than anybody else. And I'm just going, how do they do that?
The only thing that I noticed on that was was just the amount of employees. I think that had a lot to do with it.
Oh, that could be, yeah.
That's what it was with only 3 employees.
Well, anyways, I'm done.
Let's move on to item number 8.
Real quick, I don't know if I would say that here, I guess my inexperience, but it says, you know, going on through it, it says plus the cost of supplies not to exceed $10,000 per year. And basically, we're allowing a contract with up to 2 extensions for 1 year. I would like to add in there with council approval, because I do not want to get into that anymore. I mean, we don't mind it. I think as long as it's just brought to us and we can say, well, no, we've received too many complaints, and maybe we need to look at that. So I mean, I don't mind the way it is said, but I think it should still come in front of council each year, and we just say yay or nay.
I mean, I don't have a preference to rebid it every year for that matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
I think Councilman Garza did add that motion in the last meeting,
okay.
that it included.
Okay. Yeah, any of those, just for future reference, I think, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself, maybe you guys agree that anytime we look at an extension into something, we still want it to come in front of us.
I agree.
So you just want to add to be
After,
approved by council?
Yeah, after 10,000 per year, just put with council approval.
I believe I already did it once. Yeah.
Oh, it was the same. Yeah, you're right.
I did. It should have started.
There's another one in here, though, I think, too.
Yeah.
Right. Item number 7 was the appointment to the Beautification Committee. Oh, sorry. I put my name of Lois Adams, Lois Nina, and Donna Petrie. I didn't get anything on them.
I got their phone first. And I mean, that was sufficient. I could give them a call.
Number 9 is to approve the personal service contract between the City of Taylor and the CFO Financial Director.
So for those of you that don't know, Jason Couture is here tonight with us. If you guys have any questions, everybody, this is Jason. If you guys have any questions for him after reviewing his resume, He did work for the city of Taylor for
20 months?
20 months under the previous administration, and we're bringing it back forward for consideration for approval. And certainly, if you guys have any questions for me or for Jason, love to answer.
I guess I'll start for you, Rick.
Yeah.
The $5,000 stipend, that was just pointed out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I agree with that, for doing a good job.
Mhm.
I mean, we got DPW guys that are all busting their ass, they do a good job, they're for the stipend.
Well,
People in the,
we're currently in negotiations, and although I can't reveal what those negotiations are, I'm very much in favor of positive reinforcement. And when you motivate employees to do well, you get a better product. And without opportunities like this, I mean, essentially, I couldn't tell you the last time we've ever gone through an audit without a finding. If we go through an audit without a finding, it's a pretty major accomplishment.
Good, good question.
Well,
Mr. Mackey, do you get that?
Not my contract.
Ms. Panis? Mr. Novak? Okay.
Yeah, but these are very different positions.
Yeah, but the last meeting we had regarding this, we said that we're gonna start a plateau of everybody making the same and then going from there. Now we're even going over your pay, and that's where my problem comes in.
And look, guys, I'm a team player. I'm not here for me. I'm here for the betterment of the
I
city of
agree
Taylor.
100%, I respect that.
For us to get good quality people, we have to think outside the box. When I actually talked to Jason, we actually started at a higher salary than this. And it was him that said, hey, take it back down to where everybody else is and force me to do everything this body expects of me. And at that point in time, reward me if I do that. So it was his idea to bring us in. I was going to simply bring it in at the higher rate.
I think it's also wise to point out that that base rate is lower than the last three people that have had this position.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I mean, you've had people as high as 91, 86, 87.
93.5.
And no negativity toward anybody, but, our last two audits have had 5, 6, 7 material weaknesses. So to bring him in at a lower rate, but offer a spiff for doing something that the previous people haven't been able to accomplish, I think that's good for the city. If he doesn't make it, he doesn't make it. If he does, we're in better shape today than we were yesterday.
And again, let me be real clear. I was going to bring it forward at the higher rate. Jason is the one that said, let me earn it. Let me earn it and let me do the job. The current budgeted amount is 87, I believe. I believe that's where Rick Eva was at, was $87,000. So even at this, he's lower than the current budgeted amount. A couple of his predecessors were TGM. They were as high as 93.5, which is the high end of TGM. So even if he reaches all the goals, you're still $3,500 lower than what we paid historically. And that means you're going to have a perfect audit.
Okay, my question is, are we still gonna have Misty?
Yes.
So we're gonna have both of them.
You're going to have a lot of people in budget and finance. I mean, we have a department full of budget and finance
I
people.
understand where you're talking about the quality of work and what have you, but I have to agree with everybody else. The quality of work and the extra amount of work is coming with everybody in this city at this point. I mean, everything has been cut to the bare bones. Quality of work is the very best they can do. And I can't agree with $5,000 because you did a good job. All our people are doing good jobs. I'm amazed.
Well, if you're saying that you don't agree with positive reinforcement, be careful, because there would be contracts potentially coming forward that include strategies like that.
Well, when you're talking about 20 vacation days by the end of the year, by the next calendar year, I think that's pretty good positive enforcement. I've never heard of that anywhere.
Well, the contracts are full of them. Every city contract has vacation days similar to that. And they're all posted online.
I just, personally, I agree with the fact that you're not, he's gonna be possibly making more money than you, and I agree that we do need to stay competitive, but I just don't think it's right to give one person, and this is no offense, one person the $5,000 that-a-boy as opposed to, you know, 3 directors that we have sitting here, and he would be in a director role, correct?
Yeah, but you realize that the city of Taylor has a lot of people that work for the city of Taylor that make more than these directors here.
Oh, I know that.
I mean, this is not like, he's not gonna be the highest paid guy in the city of Taylor or anything like that.
But he's
I mean,
still gonna be a director, and that's what these 3 individuals are sitting here.
That's correct.
And there was supposedly supposed to be some tier that we were gonna start from, $85,000 down, you know, and start filling in. And another one of my concerns is, we're getting a little top-heavy, it seems like, and we're not doing nothing down
We're
here.
filling a
Three-
position
wait,
that's been in
yeah.
the city for 20
Wait a minute,
years.
yeah.
We're talking about, we're not creating something new. This is a very important position.
We have
I
3
understand.
Arguably,
directors.
this is the
How
most
is that
important
top
hire
heavy?
we're gonna make. I mean, we're gonna now get, at a time when we need good leadership the most, at a time when the departments need it, why would we talk about not having this position? We've had this position for 15 years.
Longer than that.
It's not
But
new.
we have 3 other positions that are paid $85,000, and this
So
is
is
what's
this
saying,
one.
I want the guy, you have a beautiful resume, trust me, you know, but it's, what I'm saying is, we're getting so heavy up here, we need guys doing work. You know,
Guys, wait a
and we
minute.
got,
Guys.
and I hate to be this way, but we don't wanna hit too many chiefs telling people to row, and not enough
But you're
rowers,
saying that like this is something different.
Guys, you have 3 directors.
right?
Historically, the city of Taylor has been there's been so many more directors. I mean, we have a DPS director we used to have a DPW director